All right. Good morning, everybody, and let the church say amen. Hope and pray all is well. Coming a little different in this video because I want to give a shout out to my girl, Miss Tiffany 41. Miss Tiffany 41 with the beautiful email. And I got it this time for some reason. It came through. And I did an older video called When a Man is Fed Up. And we oftentimes hear about when a woman is fed up, coming from a lot of women talk about when they get fed up, but a lot of people don't understand when the man get fed up, a lot of things go down too. And so what I really want to title this video is the more you give, the more he's going to take. The more you give, the more he's going to take. And it reminds me of so many people I know, man, how people just sit up and settle for anything. And most men didn't start out that way, believe it or not. And they used to be kind-hearted. And I know a lot of men like this done been taken advantage of because they was doing it the right way and some woman took advantage of them. So they protect themselves the best way they can so they won't be hurt and won't have to go through them stages again. Matter of fact, it's a show out right now called, what is that show called? Love Addiction. Love Addiction. It just came out not too long ago, I guess. And this letter you wrote me is, identical to that little episode I was looking at, and there's so much truth in it. And so many men are with a woman that they taken from. The women just giving, and they taking all they can from them. She's the breadwinner. So he gonna just get her for all the money, all the material things he can get because he's making sure he's protecting himself so he won't be the one getting hurt. And it's sad that people don't value themselves that much that they would let somebody do any and everything to them. Just like one of those episodes, this guy was dogging this girl, man. This girl had lupus. She had a lupus disease. I can't think of her name, but she had a disease and 5 kids. But she was the one giving. He didn't care nothing about her. Really, he didn't. He was just dogging her out. And I hope he changed in the long run, but he was dogging her out. She had pretty good money. Like I say, she had 5 kids. So all he did was just use her up. It's an old song called Just Keep On Using Me Until You Use Me Up. So he would just put that submissive word on her and say any woman he with gonna submit to her. And it's got to be his way or it ain't no way at all. And you notice if you saw that little clip, why he was doing it was cause he watched his father do women the same way. They a womanizer. And they love women. And they can't be with just one woman. So he followed in the same footsteps he saw his daddy do. And he thought it was cool. And see, I know another person like this that got killed behind this same thing. See, once you start hooking up with any and everybody and you don't value yourself and you just settle, something wrong with that. You can't just settle. I know a lot of people can't be by themselves. Some people can. Some people can't stand the fact of being by themselves. They don't want to be alone, so they'll just accept anybody. Whether the person is good or bad, they just want somebody in their life. And they find themselves becoming depressed, miserable, in and out the hospital. And that's not good because you wind up being in bad health and strength. And then in the long run, you'll wind up getting stressed out and kill yourself, just to be honest. So most men are doing that, are insecure in so many ways, and that they have been dogged out. That's why I say a lot of women always quote, "Oh, it ain't no good men left." But at the same time, I don't think a lot of them look at what a woman has done to drive a man into that state. Why they like that. Just like it could be vice versa. A lot of men say there ain't no good women left, but you got a lot of women that have been so dogged out that they don't want to be. They don't been so dogged out that they treat a man in the kind of way. And 9 times out of 10, half of them grew up without their father. And a lot of women are looking for that male type, that father type figure in their life, and it wasn't there. So a lot of them wind up getting a man that they can control. And once they get a man they can control, if they push that man to the limits, there's a lot of weak men out here too. But if they get that one that done had enough and he get fed up, that man would never be the same, because all he gonna remember is being hurt. So when he get in the next relationship, he gonna try his best to hurt the one that's doing good. I mean, that really love him. And a lot of women and men just truly don't know how to love, because you know why? They don't have God in their life. I said this in the older video. Most people in relationships are looking for somebody to love them, and I gotta love hard, but they ain't loving God first. And if you don't love God first, you ain't really gonna have no love at all. And I know that's hard to accept, but it's the truth, because without the love of God, it's gonna be hard to love past the pain, to love people when they do you wrong. And if you don't love self, you need to stay the hell out of a relationship. And that's just real talk, man. So I hope this video, I always say, if I can say something to help somebody, I know this might be a dumb video to somebody else, but this is serious, man. These relationships are getting people killed. You know, life is on the line. And most men that I know, most of them that I know are controlling, but they wasn't controlling at first. They was good at first, but they let a woman drive them into being the way they are. And once you drive a man to that point, it's hard for him to come out of it. And when you see this control type, this is my way or the highway, that's why I say it's on both sides, because you got controlling men and you got controlling women. But when you see that type of person, see, the Bible teaches you also that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, not some of his ways. It said a double-minded man is unstable in all their ways. And I did a video about that about 5 or 6 years ago. And I always tell, you know, women, when you hook up with a double-minded man, or fellas, when you hook up with a Jezebel type of woman, you asking for it. You cannot settle. It's best to do bad by yourself. Because when you are by yourself, it's not such a bad thing all the time, because that is the time you get to know who you are. So many people, I got to find myself. I got to find myself. I got to go away and find myself. You don't know who the hell you are by now. It ain't hard to find yourself. You need to find God. That is finding yourself, finding out who you are. You are a child of God. And when you realize that, you would understand that your life should be better. So yeah, you got a lot of this going on, man, and that was a sad thing. You know, I know another cat like that, man. He just try to get these women for everything that they got, and what's sad, he gonna always find one that fall for it. And he don't have nothing going on at all. He don't work. He don't have no car. He don't have no crib. He don't have no nothing, and he finds women like that, and they love doing it until they get pushed to that limit. And then they wonder why their feelings are hurt in the long run, because I thought he was going to marry me. What made you think that, when he was just going after you for what you had? And you got people married right now because of what they got. It really ain't no love in a lot of them. And they sitting up getting depressed. Like I say, I married him because of his money. Or I married her because she got a lot of money. She got a good job. She got 401k. She got stocks. She got this. She got that. Well, what if she lose all of that? What do you have behind that? That's why when you get married, that for better or for worse. A lot of people don't want to hear that for worse. When that for worse start coming, JT, it's time to break out. I ain't think it was going to be like this. Well, for better or for worse, why do you, excuse me, why do you think things are going to be peaches and cream every day of the week, when the Bible tells you you're going to have trials and tribulations in this life, that is going to rain on the righteous as well as the unrighteous? So yeah, when you dealing with a man like that or a woman like that, you in bad shape. It's hard enough. See, we got a lot of players out here, and I know men probably get mad at me for doing this video, but I don't care. It's a lot of players out here, and they trying to handle more than one woman. Well, let me rewind and go back to Solomon for a moment. He had plenty of women. 700 wives, 300 concubines. In other words, 300 mistresses. In other words, Solomon had 1,000 women. Look at what happened to him in the long run. And I'm talking about the man with all the wealth, with all the wisdom, supposed to be so wise. He let them women turn his heart from God. And fellas, if you're looking at this video, if you fooling with wicked people, wicked women, let me say that right, same thing can happen to you. If you ain't probably, if you ain't in God in the first place, your woman can become your God, your master. Your money can become your master. Let me say this again. When the Bible say you can't serve two masters, that can be anything. Anything hindering you, keeping you close from God, that is your master. If you don't put your money in front of God, that is your master. The Bible never told us that money was wrong. It said the love of money. I hear people quote that all the time, but they leave out that word love. It's the love of money. That's the root of all evil. Nothing wrong with money. It's the love of it. Your love of them women. You keep loving all them women and thinking you ain't really loving them no way. You're lusting. That becomes your God, the root of all evil. So back to your question, sister. Why that man turned out like that? 9 times out of 10, he was dogged out from the beginning. And then some people, some men just like that. That's why a lot of women say all men are dogs. No, they ain't. All men ain't dogs. Even that's your belief. Like I don't say all women is hoes. You ain't gonna never hear me say all women is hoes and bitches. Y'all gonna hear me say they queens. That's God's child. We all God's children. Ain't no respect nowadays. And if you don't like the word bitch, just excuse. Just don't listen at it. And with that being said, I'm praying for everybody, because I know folks don't change overnight. And I know folks done had their heart broken, stepped on. And what's sad about situations like this, you got people sitting up right now so hurt. Sister, if you're still listening, they so hurt they'll probably never move on because they can't get past the past. And they think that every man or every woman that they hook up with is gonna do them the same way. So they kind of scarred in the bad way. And here it is, God might be sending that blessing, and they'll miss it because of what the last man did or what the last woman did. So they protecting themselves not to ever get in a situation ever again. And sometimes that means that they're not going to even date nobody. They're not going to trust nobody. Well, you ask me about myself. Well, with me having God in my life, I'm not worried about nothing. I always tell people it's either I'm going to stay single or I'm going to get married. And I can't say I can't go up against if God sent my wife my way, JT gonna be married, regardless if she ain't perfect. I ain't even expecting nobody perfect. I just want them to be halfway right. Y'all will catch that later on. Because I'd rather get the one that God blessed me with than to go out here back on my own to start messing back up. See, I've learned that I don't fault nobody but myself. You'll never hear me point fingers at somebody else about a relationship I had with. No, I ain't got nothing bad to say. I point finger at myself. You know why? Because a person can only do to you what you allow them to do. I allowed a lot of stuff to go on because that's when I was dumb. I had no word in me a lot like I thought I did. I wasn't living it like I thought I was. But now I had a self checkup and I examined the hell out of myself. So if God send my wife my way, best believe I'm gonna accept it. Who gonna turn down something God bless you with? See, JT went out to who JT wanted to be with. I didn't never pray that prayer, say, God bless me with who I need. I was trying to get who I wanted because they looked good, they sounded good. I thought they was halfway right. Oh, but I got a great rude awakening. And that's why I'm like I am, because I made a vow that I'll never go back to shacking up. I'll never try to do things my way. I want to do it God's way. And if God send my wife, all blessings, all praises, all glory to God. Because I don't believe he sent me here to be here by myself. Even though some people ain't cut out for marriage, but a lot of people are. So with that being said, giving a great shout out to JD and Nessa, the YouTube family. Y'all keep on doing good. Lisa, hope everything going well with you. Lady D, everybody. PP Drawings, y'all stay up and y'all stay blessed. And remember, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Peace.